Then just spending a little bit of time getting in shape. First trip this year will be going after black bear back up in the Omineca region. So I've just been throwing my pack on and going for a hike. Holy crap. What the That's a fair-sized black bear. My name is Timothy Broche. I have a passion for the outdoors, family, and cooking. I embrace my primal instinct to hunt and gather. I understand how it defines me and appreciate the unparalleled food the outdoors provide. The water and woods call to me. Today is August 31st, 2022. I am just headed out to the truck, but wait, what's this? The truck is parked sideways in the yard, which can only mean it's hooked up to the trailer. Tomorrow is the first day of hunting season. Finally! I'm so excited. Just finished loading up the trailer early this morning. Heading up north, back up towards Prince George and BC in the Omineca region to fill a bear tag. I got a buddy going with me this time. Simon's coming along, my neighbor, a good friend of mine. We both got our spring bears, but we still got a bear tag to fill. So got everything loaded up. We're heading up north. We're going to have 4 full days of hunting, and everything's open for archery. Grouse season's open. So if the bear hunting goes well, we might have some time to goof around and chase some other critters around. But we got a really long drive first. Okay, we finally got here. Just got camp finished setting up, get the truck sorted out, and we'll have some dinner after an 8-hour drive, 8.5-hour drive. So today is the day before season opens. So for recon means remembering where the spots that I wanted to hunt and finding the roads so we can get there without too much trouble in the morning. But we're just going to get the truck organized up a little bit and have some venison burgers for dinner, get our supplies sorted out, and go check things out tonight. Maybe we'll see a bear. Well, here we are. Opening morning of hunting season. We're after bears today. Again, my buddy Simon is with me. I dropped him at another clear cut here just a little while ago. And I'm just grabbing my stuff and getting ready to head back into another clear cut. I didn't find much for sign last night. Couple little tracks from, I don't know, they could have been up to a week old. No fresh bear scat. Didn't see any fresh bear scat. I don't have any conviction in any one spot, so we're splitting up today. We're going to spend a couple hours in these clear cuts looking around. If I find a spot, I've got a game cam with me, one of my new Guard Pros, which we'll talk a little bit about how that thing works. I haven't got a chance to use it yet, so but I'm going to throw up a game cam if I find a good spot. We're going to hunt for a couple hours this morning. I'm picking Simon back up at 8, and then we're going to go to another spot and to another spot and continue on until we find a place that we've got some conviction in, and see if we can settle in and get our bears. But I've hunted here before, but I've never hunted this time of year, beginning of September. So it's really hard to tell but we're gonna get at her. Okay, this is where I'm gonna set up my game cam on this tree right here. This is where I just came in from, on this old skid trail coming through here. There's definitely been some bears in here, although I can't tell how long ago. This is a great place to set up a game cam because if there's anything moving through, it'll be on this road. And I can set it up where the sun's not going to be right on the camera. So I'm going to go ahead and get this game cam deployed and get back in here to check out this clear cut. It's an absolute beautiful morning this morning. Super quiet. Super quiet. But I'm not seeing anything back in here already. That gives me any conviction that we'd have a high chance of success here. Didn't think this through this morning. Oh, I came into the wrong clear cut. It's a rookie move. The rising sun is right in my face. Which is fine, but the problem with that is if you had to make a shot, the sun's right on the front of the scope and you won't be able to see anything. So I need to pay more attention which cut I'm going into at what time of the day. You could waste a lot of time with ending up doing something like this. I'm just about back to the truck out of the second clear cut. No sign. There's trails and stuff in here, but there's also a lot of other animals in here, and with the way the ground is being pretty dry and firm, you can't see any bear tracks even if they were moving through here. But I'm not seeing any scat. I'm not seeing a lot of freshly rolled over rocks and logs, and there's so much food here. So I'm gonna go pick up Simon, and then we're gonna head to that spot I was talking about a little bit further north and climb in elevation a little bit. One of the things, because this is, for Simon and I, this is our first hunting trip out together. We've gone shooting and done a little bit of hunting before, but I don't think one of the most important things about hunting, especially hunting with a partner or a new partner, is communication. You need to set clear expectations, especially when you're not hunting together, of where you're going to meet and when you're going to meet, and just be very clear that there's no option. It's, being in this kind of country, there's grizzlies, there's wolves, there's lots of moose. The brush is really thick here. It's hard to see where you're walking. There's a host of not so good things that could happen. And if you don't have clear communication, which I've had problems with hunting partners in the past, you can waste a whole bunch of time worrying sick about somebody because they're not where they're supposed to be when they just decided to fuck off and do something else because you weren't clear about setting expectations on where and when you need to meet, or where you're going to hunt, what direction not to shoot, all those kind of things. Just take the time to have those conversations. Oh, there's something I haven't seen very often. There's a swamp down below, but that is a huge frog. It's about 4 inches long and fat. Just a quick debrief. It's the end of our second full day, and it's been really warm. We haven't seen much of anything. We didn't really see anything yesterday. A small one, almost a cub at the end of the day. We went and seen some new country today. We seen a couple elk, big bull moose along the highway when we were driving from one spot to another. Seen us out with a couple cubs. We just been driving and hiking and driving and hiking, driving and hiking, trying to find some bears. The warmer weather's got everything shut down. It's been like over 30 degrees almost all day long, so it's a little bit frustrating and difficult to hike when it's like it is right now. But we're just finishing up. We just stopped at Glass, this neat little spot right here, and heading back to camp. We're loading up our packs tonight. We get a long hike in the morning, check out some new ground, and keep working at it until we can get one. So it's the morning of our third day. We haven't seen much so far. We saw a shooter meet bear last night on our way out. He jumped out in front of us on the road, but we haven't seen a lot since we've been here, so we're going back up into an area that I've been up to once before, later in the fall last year. And we're getting about 5 miles off the main road. So we're doing two things. We're looking for a place that has absolutely no hunting pressure, and then there's huckleberries. With the warmer weather, the bears aren't moving around much. But if their bellies are empty, which bears are always eating, they'll be looking for huckleberry patches. So the ones down where we've been hunting have been kind of dried up and sparse. So this spot up here in front of us is about 1,000 feet in elevation higher, on a different side of the mountain. So hopefully we can get back in here and spend a little bit of time, find some good huckleberries, and just wait it out and do some spot and stalk maybe. But we got a long hike yet, so time to get to work. So we got about halfway into this spot that we hiked way back into today, and I sent Simon off to the north side of this, and I hiked around to the south side. First fresh track. That's gonna be from probably a 3-year-old bear. But it looks like he's walked through here both ways recently. So I'm feeling a little more optimistic now. It's the first fresh bear sign I've seen all morning. Just did a little glassing out here, and this looks awesome. I was hoping the berries would be ripe up here, but this is huckleberry brush. And there's no huckleberries up here. I've looked around a little bit, and there's some more there. And they're done. There's a few wild raspberries up here, but and some other berries as well. But I don't know. This would be a great place to spend a whole day. There's a lot of bear sign, fresh and old, right in this soft dirt in this spot in the road. All different size of bears. Look like there could be anywhere from big boars to sows with cubs. But there's a lot of tracks here. Might be getting closer to the spot that they need to be. Tracks going in both directions, so fingers crossed. Kind of following up on hunting with a partner, we made arrangements that we would meet back at the spot we split off from, give ourselves 2.5 hours, 10 o'clock. Told him I'd meet him back there. And so I kept track of how much time it took for me to get over here, and so I could make sure I got back in time. It's one of the things that, if you're going to set that expectation with your hunting partner, you need to show a little bit of integrity and make sure you're there when you're telling them you're going to be there. You don't want them worrying about you any more than you want to be worrying about them. And when you're out here in this kind of country where you could run into grizzlies and all kinds of weird shit could happen, you need to do what you say you're going to do. So I'm running a little bit behind, so I'm just pick up the pace a little bit so I can get back there and make sure that he's not waiting around wondering what's going on. It looks like this place is going to start giving up stuff after all. Cool. Looks like it might be over a year old. little chewed up on the end. Sweet. Well, I'm back at home today. Today should have been travel day for my hunt in the Omineca region for bears. In the 3 days we hunted, we seen a sow and 2 cubs while we were driving along the highway from one spot to another. We did see one shooter bear. I think it was the second day. He just jumped out in the road while we were traveling. And we did catch one in a clear cut, but man, that thing was small. Way too small to harvest, so we just moved on. It kind of felt like, there was a lot of bear sign, probably 2-3 weeks, whenever the huckleberries were ripe up there. But I feel like that area that they just move up higher and follow the huckleberries, and then end up for the winter up higher, and then as soon as the snow leaves in the valley, they come back down because there's lots of bears there in the spring. They're there when the huckleberries are ripe, but they're not there when the weather's colder. And it could have been in part too that it was so hot, like it was really, really warm. So anyways, we ended up coming back home. Not my ideal scenario. We came back a day early. I really wanted to go back into that backcountry that we hiked into on the 3rd day. It looked amazing back in there. And I did see some fresh sign and tracks back in there, but there was so much area. There was raspberries, there was thimbleberries, there was lots of other food for them, and I really felt if we could have got back in there and spent the better part of a day, that we likely could have either seen one because they're traveling up and down the road that we hiked in on, or we could have got up high and just glassed and found one. And with the layout and how the roads go through that area back there, I felt pretty confident that we'd be able to, put a sneak on one. But I got to the point where I felt like I was pushing my hunting partner too far. And that's not the ideal scenario, is to burn somebody out on their first trip. So trying to look at it logistically for hiking all the way back into that spot by myself, it's a little bit over a 2-hour hike to get from the truck back to that area where you're hunting. And if I killed a big bear back there, I'm looking at 4 trips, 2 hours each way for 4 trips. That's like 16 hours. And you're not going to make the last 2 trips as fast as you made the first 2 trips. And because we had to leave what would have been this morning to come home, it wasn't an option to put anything off logistically for me to go back in there, not having an extra day. And as warm as it was, to try to, have to leave meat in there overnight or part of the next day, just really didn't make any sense. That, and there was supposed to be some heavy thunderstorms coming through yesterday, the day that we traveled. So, disappointment comes in many farms. Sometimes it's missing the shot, sometimes it's spooking the animal, sometimes just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And, sometimes there's just other logistical things that keep you from having the experience you've seen in your mind. Unfortunately, this just happened to be one of those times.